What's up, chat? How we doing? The last day of this godforsaken year is here. Oh. If I catch any of you fools eating bats tomorrow, it's going down. Happy Thursday, December 31st, 2020. How we sounded? Mike's going good. Feed is good. You guys good? We've got a couple basketball games live in the cut. Last I saw, Javale McGee had like 1 million rebounds in a couple minutes, but he was like 0 for 1 million. Let's go check out what's going on there. The shenanigans. Let's kill the music. Let's get the live stream up, man. What's up, Ryan? What's up, Mike Lowry? Sean, Sid in the house. Taylor, what's up, dude? What's up, Eric? Henny Night, I got 10 cents and I'm ready to risk it all. Let's go. Yeah, what's going on over here? Javale McGee has 12 rebounds in 10 minutes, 5 points. He's 2 for 10 and a minus 13. That's fun. I don't know if I would have played Javale McGee that slate. I definitely would have played Drummond because he has a nice history against Miles Turner. But man, what a weird slate last night was. You guys roll with me on that one? I was very, very enthralled, I should say, by the Charlotte Hornets, and like I was at the right place at the wrong time, because Miles Bridges and LaMelo Ball were not two Hornets that I was invested in. In fact, I had almost a core ownership on Gordon Hayward, Devontae Graham, and PJ Washington. PJ Washington, 5 fouls, 18 minutes. Not what you want. And LaMelo Ball just went out there and started flexing on him. Miles Bridges, I guess, maybe benefited from the PJ Washington foul trouble. Biyombo was in foul trouble. So it was just like, it was a weird situation. But the Mavericks fell to the Hornets. And then just overall in the slate, we didn't quite have Jason Tatum news until a little bit closer to that game. Him being in, maybe people took a less of a look at the Celtics game. Jaylen Brown ended up being a top 3 scorer on the slate. Your best mid-tier option, really, at 57 at 7-3. We'll take that all day long, all day strong. And then, sure enough, there's a car alarm going off. Sure enough, the Miami Heat, after getting smoked out of the gym, they put one of the least offensive lineups I've ever seen to go against the Bucks, and they pull it out. It's just, you just knew that was going to happen when you saw that lineup. So Adebayo was a fine play yesterday. I was pretty heavily invested in this Nets and Hawks game, which put up a 286 total in regulation. So that kind of helped me make up for the Hornets situation, but still kind of a weird night results-wise in terms of what happened versus what we thought would happen versus how hashtag DFS was setting us up. Peyton Pritchard was an okay value play. Jeff Teague was in some of my top lineups yesterday, and I even had some Pritchard and Teague lineups, which is weird. Kind of get there. So hopefully you guys did well. If not, there's always tomorrow, which is today. And if you guys are like me, and sometimes you dabble in both DraftKings and FanDuel, today actually has staggered slates. DraftKings is going to lock first 30 minutes before usual lock at, I guess that would be 6:30 Eastern. And then FanDuel is just going to give you a 4-game slate at 7 p.m. Eastern. So focus on your DraftKings first, and then you have that extra 30 minutes to tidy up your FanDuel stuff and just kind of pace yourself, right? What up, Hector? Hope you have a great new... Yeah, hope you guys are safe as well. On today's stream, I'm going to be joined by Raj, I believe. Yeah, Raj is going to be on today's stream. So actually, let me go ahead and get him in there. Actually, before I do that, let me do a plug. We'll wait for the plug. Let's get Raj in here and talk some basketball. Here we go with the yo. Dagnabbit, I say you're. Raj must be AFK. Awkward silence. By the way, chat.
Yo.
There it is. Good Lord.
My bad. I forgot the mic was off. Another day, another grind.
What's up, dude? How are you?
Just trying trying to chase what's today, the 150K up top on DK.
Is it? Yeah. I'm a max the for the 100K on FanDuel. I just feel like on a 4-game slate, it's gonna chop.
Yeah, it's 4-gamer. So I mean, I don't know. There's always like one Jamal McGee play. There's a Jamal McGee play in a 4-game slate, like he's going off right now.
For me, I think the game theory might be, and this slate, Chad, is gonna be more game theory than value for me. 4-game slate.
Yeah.
Where do I get different in big field tournaments, and how do I get different? I think maybe the Rockets, like people might be less enthralled with the Rockets now that John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins and
I think James
and
Harden goes really underowned.
Right.
Just 'cause, yeah.
So,
I think people want to wait and see approach.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got an extra game on the DraftKings slate. So, Jerome Aiken, where's that effing cat? You guys got me to over 100 likes. I have a cat. Not physically here, but it's coming. It'll be here probably the 19th or the 20th. I'll explain it all to you guys. The cat comes with a girl, by the way, so it's
Bang bang! Shout out to True
Love. Yeah. What's up, Crispy? Anyway, I guess we'll start.
Like, that's gonna be listening to a lot of R&B music, not just gonna be me.
Okay, listen here, buddy.
Just saying. Me getting this Neo on.
Let me get stat news pulled up. Chat.
He ain't gonna be no man of God for the week. You know what I'm saying?
Fam. I have monetization turned on. I'm gonna need you to locate the chill, find the chill, apply the chill, and just be chilled.
It's New Year's Eve. The chill is not around.
Okay, listen. All right, I got stat news open. All right, we're lit. 76ers at the Orlando Magic. First game on the docket, only on DraftKings.com. We got Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid taking on Markelle Fultz, Evan Fournier, Dwayne Bacon, Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. So I feel like on the surface, it's one of those games that will feel a little bit more defensive and low scoring. A meager 220 total. You look at the players involved, Vooch versus Embiid, and you're just like, oh man, who gets the best of that? But I do kind of like looking at these two. Like I said, game theory on a shorter slate. Even this game in general, I'm not that enthralled with like a Ben Simmons, but Embiid versus Vooch, I feel like there will be an okay play out of one of those two. So historically, I'm curious to see how Vucevic has done against Joel Embiid. So let's pull up StatMuse and just kind of get an idea of what his history against Embiid has been. A bunch of 40s and a 71, which happened in 2018. So maybe it is all medium range of outcomes on his side at that price. We'll run it back. Joel Embiid, DKP by game log versus Nikola Vucevic last 10 games. We'll look at him and bunch of 40s, 160. Okay, so maybe they just both are average plays at their price point. Markelle Fultz revenge game against his former Sixers team. Dwayne Bacon, I think, is a little bit intriguing when we start thinking about the fact that Terrence Ross is out. If you pull up Terrence Ross's game log and see what he represents versus what this team's going to try to replace, it's double-digit shot attempts. It's 14 to 26 real points. Who makes that up? Is it a couple extra minutes and shots for Markelle Fultz? Or is it a guy like Dwayne Bacon at 3,300, just a couple $100? Maybe. Bacon, last game, 23 minutes, double-digit shot attempts, dropped 28. I kind of like him as a stocking stuffer value play to pull out my back pocket. You mentioned Cole Anthony. I definitely don't push back on him. I'm not super stoked, but he's there. And then Aaron Gordon kind of strikes me as somebody I'm at least curious with. I know he's still on like a minutes limit. Last couple games, 22 and 20 minutes, and when you look at that first game against the Heat, that's what I was kind of like liking for tournaments. 26 minutes, 36 fantasy points. So hit the nose right on about that 6x. I do think we're giving ourselves a glass ceiling because of the limited minutes, but I think if we're thinking broad field tournaments, is there a shot at 40 fantasy points here? Maybe. It's a Tobias Harris revenge game of 7-1. Last game, he actually produced for a solid fantasy output. Dropped 53 fantasy points in 38 minutes. Maybe we're pushing the minutes there. Maybe we look more for like a 35-minute game. I do think overall, just on on the surface, like, this game isn't too exciting, but on a 5-game slate, if this is going to be one of the least enthralling games of all the options on the table, I definitely want to cherry pick here and find some options that could help me get to the top. I think Markelle Fultz, Fournier, and Tobias all feel like there's a little bit of meat on the bone, and then Vooch and Embiid just for usage and ability probably make the player pool. And none of these guys are probably single entry or cash games. Anything sticking out for you, Raj?
I mean, my initial guy to fill in for Terrence Ross was Cole Anthony. The young gun. I think they really want to, big part of the team. So I think he can take a few more shots here and maybe a couple more minutes. So give me some of him. You mentioned Bacon. The 9 for 10 shooting thing is a little fake. Expect more than 2 for 4, 2 for 3. So not in love with him. I think Michael Carter Williams is interesting. Like at 3,600, you see his minutes, and like he gets you the peripherals too. So if he takes a few more shots without Ross, if he can get 4 or 5 more shots, he can start to give you the 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3, 4 assists, and he'll give you the peripheral one other guy. So I think he's a guy that I'll keep in my back pocket too. In terms of starters, Vooch is there, 8,700. He's a fine play. Just a lot of guys at center today, so we'll see how much I'll end up with him. Not in love with Fultz, not in love with Aaron Gordon just because the minutes limit or Fournier. And the Philly side, it's just Embiid. I know Tobias has the random games, but he's 7-1. I prefer him when he's more in the 6K ranges. And no Ben Simmons for me at that price.
So if Tobias was 6,900, you'd be looking at him for $200.
It's one of those things, yeah. It's like, what's the guy? When Kemba, the 8K rule, he's 8,100, you don't, but 79, you play him.
If I said Jokic on Nikola, that's my bad, chat. My bang hasn't fully kicked in. I'm only a couple sips in. All right, yeah, it's pretty like mundane and not exciting. I'll have the bulk of my action on FanDuel today, so I don't have to split hairs with this game. But congrats, DraftKings players, for them adding this game, and it still might garner very low ownership overall. So
on DK, one of those 3 backup guards for Orlando wins you the slate.
Right, MCW feels. He doesn't feel like a scorer. Like I said, if Terrence Ross is having that 6-man role, it's likely he's pushing 20 real points. I don't know that like MCW often gives me 20 real points.
I just want to get like 10 and then maybe get like a double if he can get there. Because he has to use like the second unit usage. Like he still can do some rebounds, the assists.
Yeah,
I want to say Cole Anthony is most likely to take the most shots. It seems like
it's Dwayne Bacon, bro. He's staring us right in the face.
But that's that one game.
Okay, that's 25% of the season.
Okay, that's fair.
Without
9 for 10, yeah.
Let me pull up the Magic's last game here against the OKC Thunder.
And Bacon starts. Is he in their second unit?
Yeah, I guess Ross played that whole game, so there wasn't really a immediate benefactor. If I'm looking for scoring, it's probably Cole Anthony, right? Who's more likely to score 20 real points, Cole Anthony or MCW? It's probably Cole Anthony. So
yeah, I would say Cole.
If I have to do that, sure. MCW is like your veteran guys can be out there. Maybe the coach staggers a little bit more to get like Fournier cross with the second unit just to be a shooter. So
this could be the Fournier 5,500 gets you 25 every game, but here he comes to 40 DKP.
Yeah. I have Bacon and Dummy right now, says Paul. Chill is off like the rope. Okay, Henny.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
Ryan says 51 watching, 16 likes. You don't like the station, change the channel. No, the views will come here. Usually by the end of the stream lately, we've been getting 300 views, so that's awesome. You guys are crushing it. I think
Night definitely has a lot of kids.
I think once the we get on the other side of the New Year's, I can put a more concrete schedule up there. In my head, the schedule's 3 p.m. Eastern on an 8 or more game slate, and then like 4 p.m. Eastern on one of the short slates. But we'll see. I'm playing with it. My goal with setting the time is just to make sure I'm not like competing with other big names in the media, the DFS media industry, and then just having my own thing going. So I think we're at a happy place. I was gonna do the night before, but even I see Mo's back on the night before, so I just want to show respect to everyone and just kind of do my own thing. Yeah. What's up, Danny Hart? This is my first time betting. I'm gonna choose the $1 12.5K. If it's single entry, go for it, buddy. But also just don't be results orientated on a 1-game slate, regardless. But the smaller slate as well. But good luck. Hopefully you do well. If you have any questions, Twitter.com/GundeckerSports. Hey, let's move on to the next game. Sacramento Kings at the Houston Rockets. We got. I'm not going to mute my mic and call you out. We got De'Aaron Fox, Raj. De'Aaron Fox.
My favorite play of the day.
Buddy Hield, Harrison Barnes, Marvin Bagley, Rashawn Holmes. Taking on John Wall, James Harden, Daniel House, P.J. Tucker, Christian Wood. We got a 231.5 total, 5.5-point spread in favor of the home team Rockets. It's going to be the first season in regular season look at this Rockets team with John Wall, Eric Gordon, DeMarcus Cousins, all slated to make their season debut after being put on a contact tracing bench, I guess, inactive list. Running against them, obviously De'Aaron Fox at 8K or less is in a really, really fun spot because we expect the Rockets to be up in pace and scoring pretty liberally, and we expect them to have to run it back. And I think Fox, Buddy Hield, guys like that all profile really well when you consider the minutes. And even like a Harrison Barnes at 5'4", 5'9", 34 minutes in this pace, maybe he does peripheral his way to 8 to 14 real points and then a couple of peripherals to get him to a 30 fantasy point night. So I like that quite a bit. I think this is probably a game stack. I haven't put my ear to the ground, right? I don't know where the other touts and just really I haven't even talked in the Discord much today. I just got up. I'm curious to see where everyone is at on the Rockets, because I think it would be so easy and perhaps lazy to be like, oh, John Wall and Boogie's back. Well, I guess I'm done playing Harden and Christian Wood. And I just feel like on a short slate, especially on FanDuel when it's just 4 games, I feel like that's not the correct thought process. But I also feel like it's 2020, almost 2021. Maybe that's not how the field thinks at all. John Wall looks super solid in the preseason at 7K. There's certainly a range where he gives us 40 plus fantasy points. Well priced on both sites. And then Christian Wood on DraftKings, you can still see a 40 bomb out of that. Boogie is 5K on DraftKings. You might expect his minutes to still just kind of be 20-ish. But hey, he could flirt with double doubles in 20 minutes. So I'm curious to see where the field lands on these Rockets in terms of ownership percentages. But I'm all about some Fox and Buddy Hield. I think the prices are really nice, and I don't mind some shares of Harrison Barnes, and then even that front court like a Bagley and a Rashawn Holmes. I can see them being 5-6x plays, and normally that's not something like that makes me too drool emoji. But I think on these shorter slates, you can stock and stuff, 30-40% of your lineup with some guys that are just hidden value, and I think that's fine. There's a reason why that's value. So where's your love begin and end in this game? Is this just game stack this 40 times and see what happens?
I mean, De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes will be core plays for me. Probably 2 of my highest.
Hey, whoa! Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes plays the most minutes on this team. Okay, he's just out there. Get you some peripherals.
Harrison Barnes is a core play for you. Core play.
Harrison Barnes is a core play.
Come on, bro.
He's a core play.
I just said I would have like some shares in tournaments.
He's a core play for me.
He's a core play.
Probably in this slate a 50%er.
So you're saying a core? You know what core means? This is one of your highest owned players on the entire slate.
Yes, I'm right now. I'm starting every lineup with De'Aaron and Harrison Barnes, with either Zion or Ingram. We'll get to them. These core guys. It's Houston. We're going to run up and down. Christian Wood plays no defense. Cousins is not going to play a ton. Wall, no. It's just they're just going to be scoring up and down the court. Give me Harrison Barnes.
In his last 10 games against the Houston Rockets, Harrison Barnes has exceeded 25.8 DraftKings points once. This is a core play for you.
This is a different season. It's a different season.
No, wait, it's literally not. Come on, bro.
This is the core play for me. Harrison Barnes is getting 40 DKP tonight.
Don't get me wrong. I'm going to have exposure to Harrison Barnes, but he's not no effing core play.
Core play for me.
Okay, buddy.
It's a core play for me. So
I'm not hating on the play.
Yeah, I mean, I like
I'm
him more
hating on
than
the
Buddy
decision.
Hield, Bagley, and those guys. On the Houston side, I want to say Harden's price tag with John Wall. Like, his assists have to take a hit, I'd assume.
Yeah.
It seems like the logical thing. Points, he could probably still get you 30 points, but I'll assume that. I think maybe in the rebounding takes a hit. I mean, you have Cousins now down there who looked healthy, who looked good. Cousins at 5K, if he gets 30 minutes, is very interesting. There's definitely some upside there. Christian Wood at 7-3. I'm not going to play with everyone back. John Wall at 71.
Whoa! You're not gonna play Christian Wood?
No, I'm not gonna play Christian Wood with all those guys.
What am I hearing, Raj?
Yeah.
You're gonna play Harrison Barnes as a core play, and you're not gonna play Christian Wood. Raj,
Christian Wood
you're
is a
an
fade
idiot.
today.
like,
At $7,300, he's
Fam,
a fade today.
No,
there's no upside. There's no upside at his price with all these guys back.
It's a
Aaron Gordon going to take some
5-game
shots.
slate. What upside? If he gets you 40, he's a fine play. Mate, and you're a DraftKings guy, right? It's 7-3.
Yeah.
You don't think there's upside?
No, he's not gonna get the double bonus. That's for sure. It's just not gonna happen for him today. Christian Wood is the fade. Do not play Christian Wood. Eric Gordon. Do not play Eric Gordon. Team full. I think it's just shots on DeMarcus Cousins, James Harden, and then give me the Sacramento guys with Fox. Fox or Barnes first. Buddy Hield.
Fam, okay, stop. Let's think about this. Woosa. How much is 1,000 salary on DraftKings generally worth to you? How many fantasy points?
1,000, about 10.
No,
12.
it's not 10.
Oh, I'm thinking 10K. No. Sorry, no 1,000. Sorry, 1,000.
If you got a $6,000 player,
you want like 35 to 40.
So the general rule is 5 to 7, just 5 to 7x.
Yeah.
Yes, there's multipliers, whatever. So let's just say it's worth 6.5, 7 fantasy points per 1,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you just said you would take shots on Boogie at 5,000.
Yep.
What's 5 times 7?
5 times 7, 35.
An extra $2,000. 7 times 2 is 14.
49. He's not getting. He's not.
Stop. So you're saying that DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah.
That there's no chance Christian Wood has 14 more fantasy points than DeMarcus Cousins.
14 more. No, it's not going to happen. Minimal chance, but it's not going to happen.
You're too far gone.
I think DeMarcus's usage is going to be higher than
you
Christian
can't
Wood.
be saved.
And we're going to see.
You're too far gone.
Come on, chat. I know you guys are on the
No.
fake Christian Wood play DeMarcus train.
I'm not saying you can't call like what? This is Rogers like right off into the sunset of 2020. You can't.
Christian Wood's going to have the fourth highest usage on the team. I think you're really overvaluing the role of Christian Wood on this team.
You don't get to come into this game breakdown and say I'm coring Harrison Barnes, but I'm not gonna touch Christian Wood. Like how asinine is that statement?
I'm rolling with Harrison Barnes.
Me and you are so far apart on this game. Like if this was a Pawn Star deal, we would not make a deal.
This is why we do the group entry on FanDuel.
This would not make it. We would not make a deal here. Like this is
either
ridiculous.
Way, either take should make money.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Chat. Let's see what chat said. Am I the crazy one here? Honestly, surprised Raj is even in your videos at this point. Hey, we shake it up.
Hey man, I need everyone to keep the same energy when Harrison Barnes goes for 40.
But the thing, so
Christian Wood goes for like 22.
I'm not anti Harrison Barnes. I'm going to have exposure to Harrison Barnes today, but he could never be a core play. Harrison Barnes could play 40 minutes today and get to 25. That's just what Harrison Barnes could do.
Bro,
he's not a core player like ever. But then sentences later, you're like, yeah, I'm not even gonna touch Christian Wood. What on a 5-game slate, like in a total that's 231. There's no way in your mind that Christian Wood gets there at 7.3. Like that's crazy to me. Anyway, let me catch up on chat just a little bit. Justin Sports says, Gun, my bad, I might have missed it, but what's this alleged tax trick about? I don't know what the tax trick is about, but I do know that today would be the last day of your fiscal financial year. I'm not a tax, I don't want to give tax advice, but I would assume whatever you win or lose tonight would impact your 1099s for next season. I know every year there's like if you don't withdraw before midnight, you don't claim that's bull crap in my history. But I don't want to give you guys tax advice. That's not who I am. Maybe ask somebody who actually is like a license or something. Joe says, I'm liking Halliburton. The rookies look good. Okay. I love this guy's takes. Raj is Raj. Honestly surprised Raj is even in your videos. I'm out. Credibility shot Barnes core. Thanks for paying the rate. Just find showstopper in your contest, right? Fox, Wall, Barnes for me. The thing is, I'm going to have Harrison Barnes. He's just not a core play.
All this Harrison Barnes slander kind of needs to stop. Like, I mean, he's a above average NBA player.
I gotta take the headset off for a second. I cannot hear. I cannot think. Let me catch up, chat. Give me a minute. I don't know he's on today. Gun, this your man. Wood is a beast. Wall, Harden would be feeding him. I like Christian Wood. I don't know what he's talking about. I could see a case at 88 on FanDuel where Wood is 38 to 43 fantasy points and is like whatever. But at 7,300 on DraftKings, there's no way I wouldn't have none on such a
the guy is priced at 7,300. He's going to have the fourth highest usage on the team. Fourth highest usage.
Oh my God, buddy. I don't think you understand how fantasy points work. Are you talking about how we put our milk in bags? Oh, okay. We got more Canadians in the chat.
Oh, it's like that. Hey, we been getting 2K a month, baby. Like the past 8 months.
Oh my God, bro, you're out of there today. What up? E made it happen. How are you? Good to see you, buddy. He's about to be wrong. Hey, where's the other guy you do this with? Raj must be gone through some things at home. He needs some hugs. If Wood comes off the bench as possible. I think Wood will start. If it's anything like we saw in preseason, especially considering the fact that, Wall and Boogie got a little extra unexpected rest. I probably still anticipate Wood being the starter and Boogie coming off the bench. But he's the starting center. Like, people would have played Clint Capella at 7,300. Why wouldn't you? And Wood has more skill set than Capella. Like, it's such a bad take. I disagree wholeheartedly.
Maybe Boogie will start with Christian Wood.
No, probably not now. Shut your fat butt up. He is right. Oh, okay. Well, I guess he's right.
There you go. There's one guy.
It's good that you guys disagree. Yeah. There's a lot of shows out there. Just okay. Yeah. Wood is crazy too expensive on FanDuel with Boogie. So I was like I said on FanDuel. There's a K. You could tell me 9K Christian Wood is somebody you're not excited, and even then, like, I would still have a little bit just because it's the Kings front. Like, Jokic has been dropping 69, 70. Now, I'm not comparing Jokic to Wood, but, like, the Kings front court does not scare me. Like, Christian Wood still has ability to be point per minute, even 1.2 fantasy points per minute. Like, but at 7,300, when your scoring is more, first of all, bonus, like, incentivized, right? You're gonna get your double bonus and stuff like that, and it's a short slate. Like, there's an easily a range of outcomes where Christian Wood can get you 40. He's not a core, right? He's not as good as Harrison Barnes apparently, but I wouldn't have none. Like, that's just crazy. Raj is false. Anyway, we kind of got set off the rails here. I can see Boogie starting, bro. He just came off another injury. Why start him? No, I don't think he'll start. He didn't start in the preseason. Over Wood, I think, so it's fine. Anyway, John Wall is there too, 771K. He looked good in preseason as well. I don't mind taking him for 40 fantasy points. I like this game stack. I'm just gonna have several shares of both sides of this game, so I'm there. And then we talked about the Kings. I didn't want to. I'm sorry, chat. I didn't mean to get that far off the rails, but I was so on the opposite spectrum as Raj when it comes to this Rockets and Kings game. Like I said, today, honestly, when I make lineups, it's less about projections because where I'm playing, FanDuel is going to be a 4-game slate. It's less about projections and more about game theory. I think the winning lineup just might be a little different, and you'll see some of these guys that are just, maybe you're overpaying for a 40 fantasy point, like a 4.5 to 6x value return. So it is what it is. I took Wall and Harden on FanDuel. I don't mind either one of them. And Harden's the one I'm curious about, right? If we go over to FanDuel, James Harden's your highest priced player at 11.5, and he's your highest priced by like $2,000. And it's so easy to just say, oh, Boogie, Wall, they're all back. Harden's not gonna, be a beast. I disagree. Like, James Harden can still be a beast. He looked good in preseason, so it is what it is. How many minutes you guys think Wall would play? He played healthy minutes in preseason. I put him for 31. You know,
Wall definitely has some meat on the bone there. That
yeah.
price, double. Wall and Christian Wood are the same price. So if you want to just 1v1 it in a util, I'd play Wall all day.
So if you gave me a point guard and a center for the exact same minutes, knowing that Harden's usage will be what it is, I'd probably take the center. And I'm just a bigs over guard guy. Yeah. But anyway, let's move on to the next game. We spent a lot of time on that game. New York Knicks at the Toronto Raptors. Project starting five for the Knicks: Alfred Payton, Reggie Bullock, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson taking on Kyle Lowry, Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, and Aaron Baines. So on FanDuel, this feels a lot like that Sixers and Magic game. It's a 216.5 total, and the Raptors are favored by 9 and a hook. So potential for this to get a little lopsided. So far through this young season, we've seen some big center games against the Knicks, and bigs, doing just fine. I can't really.
The Raptors team.
Yeah. Vice versa. Remember this Raptors team? Not Marc Gasol, not Serge Ibaka. Julius Randle is cheaper than Christian Wood on FanDuel.
That's crazy.
He's the third highest price power forward, but a couple hundred cheaper than Zion and almost 1,000 cheaper than Christian Wood. That's where I'll buy I don't need Christian Wood because Julius Randle is this price. Julius Randle's absolutely going off right now. He's playing some point guard role, right? Look at these assists the last two games. 7, 11 assists, the triple-double in that game against the Cavs. The Cavs to the Raptors is night and day. But the minutes are there for him, a Thibodeau diet plan of minutes. And in the past, we've seen Thibodeau play those guys even in the wrong and right side of blowouts. So I'm not guaranteeing that they would play 35 minutes if they got smoked. But we've seen Thibodeau do that in the past. So Randle at 8K on FanDuel, that's going to be a yes for me, dog. This is a team that may still be without Alec Burks. I'm not sure. Let's see if we get an update on that. Burks ankle's questionable. So Alec Burks actually missed the last game. And if you look at what that removes from this Knicks team, it's double-digit shot attempts, likely 20 real points, kind of a Terrence Ross, but does a little bit more in terms of assists and whatnot. So what we had to do there was just kind of, do we give more minutes to Alfred Payton? Do we expect more out of some of these backup guards, maybe more out of R.J. Barrett? Looks like Austin Rivers could be in the mix. So it's kind of an ugly situation to figure out. I think the first two guys I'm curious with are R.J. Barrett and Julius Randle. You can make a case for Reggie Bullock at 3,600. Just hit enough shots to get to 20 fantasy points, and hope that gives you a chip in a chair to put together some big, maybe studs and scrubs lineups. But Julius Randle and R.J. Barrett are the first two names to stand up for me. And then on the Raptor side, obviously VanVleet, Lowry, and Siakam are the historical, more household names. But I think we need to talk about OG Anunoby, particularly for FanDuel's stake. He's 6,500. And not a lot of people ever play him. But the last two games, literally all games this season, he's gotten you just about 30 fantasy points. Last game got you 47. This is a stocks guy. And on FanDuel, you get that 3 fantasy points per blocks and steals. He had 5 steals and 1 block against Philly, 2-1, 3-1. So you can almost give him 5 stocks in a game. And just know that, maybe that's 15 fantasy points. And then whatever else happens. Maybe 20 real points is a little bit on the, okay, not really side. But 10 to 15 real points and, 5 rebounds and a bunch of stocks. I think OG Anunoby makes my player pool. I think on FanDuel, it's a $600 price difference. But I think, Anunoby could be a stronger case than your boy Harrison Barnes, just because of his skill set and how he does accrue peripherals. So just somebody I want to not have you guys forget if you're playing on FanDuel. Raj, you're the Canadian. The Raptors your team. What are you doing with this squad against the New York Knicks? This is a game where I think the total's low, but we can put a lot of minutes on a lot of players. I got 34 plus minutes on 4 Raptors. And we know a Thibodeau lineup could be the same, at least with Barrett and
yeah, I got Anunoby in my dummy lineup, so I like him at that price. fill up the stat sheet against the Knicks, who's gonna turn over the ball. I mean, he's averaging 3 steals. I expect him to get 3 steals, maybe 4 or 5, which will help him. So give me some Anunoby here. Give me some. I haven't played Lowry all season. Maybe some Van Vliet, but again, haven't played Lowry all season. So probably no Lowry. Siakam not in love with. Prefer the guys in New Orleans at that similar price tag, same position. But on New York side, Randle's a core piece for me. The Raps have been getting destroyed by bigs. Mitchell Robinson isn't really an offensive guy, skill set. So I think Randle will do most of the work here. Coming off a back-to-back 60 bombs. 8-8 on DraftKings is a steep price. I don't know if that price will keep his ownership down or people will game log watch and get his ownership up. I think that'll be interesting to see. I want to say that price tag might scare him away. People would just rather pay up for an Embiid or whatnot, but give me Randle as a core piece for me today.
I'm going to say maybe. Randle's just crushing it.
Yeah.
I like Randle quite a bit.
I mean, Alfred Payton's been consistent too, past 2 games.
Consistent. The word consistent and Alfred Payton.
I mean, above 30. Yeah.
No, he got bailed out last game. He had like 5 in the first quarter, and then just like somehow got to not kill your lineup territory at chalk percentage on.
Give me Randle and Anunoby most of this game. Everyone else maybe a sprinkle, but I think this game goes over the total. And that total's a little low. Knicks not good defensively. The Raptors not that good. Oh, Boucher is interesting. So last game he got 4 minutes. I don't know what happened. My research on I don't know what he got benched or something, but game before that he broke the slate.
The game before he broke the slate because he has 7 blocks, fam.
Yep. I mean, he is going against Mitchell Robinson and Randle. I mean, he can get some blocks here. At that price, 52, even if he gets you 40, it'll be okay.
I mean, I think it's the Space Jam reach, but like it's not asinine in 100K to first where you got beat 300K lineups. But for me, I'm looking at OG. I was gonna make a Drake pun, but okay.
Shout out Drake album.
But yeah, so I'll actually have some. I
really like Randle.
Could a 3-man Raptor stack pay off? Like in a range is there a world where on FanDuel, yeah.
It would have to be Van Vliet.
It's 4 game slate. Like I think a 4-man stack of some team could pay off, but could 3 Raptors in a lineup get there against the Knicks? Like a Van Vliet, Anunoby, Pascal, Siakam.
I can see that.
I might do it.
When you play Pascal, you have to kind of hope that he outscores Ingram and Zion.
And Randle.
Yeah.
At least on DK. Chat, what do you guys got on this one? Didn't know Rivers were playing. So there's a chance Rivers and Burks plays. If that happens, I don't see Alfred Payton like getting 30 minutes. I got him at like 27 right now. Kyle Dayrit says Randle at AK's wild. FanDuel's just playing around over there with pricing. It's just too cheap for what he's doing. Burks questionable. I got on my fantasy team. I'd say don't play him. Randall's been smashing. Could Austin? Nah, I don't want to play Austin Rivers, but like, could he at pinching pennies in big field tournaments? Like, could he Could he be Alec Burks if Alec Burks was out? Right? Could he do what Alec Burks did? We don't look to Rivers to be a 20 real point scorer, but there's games. There's games where he's kind of filled that role. Especially you think about some of the Clippers games and some of the Rockets games where there was like no Chris Paul, no Westbrook, or no Harden, something like that. Potentially could get you 20 maybe. Carl Douglas says New York wins tonight, no blowout. Okay. Raps are 0-3. I think they're gonna steal this one.
They need to.
Boucher's gonna be in a lot if he gets out of hand. I would agree with that. They played Len because of Embiid. I got him in fantasy. All right, if the game stays close, yeah. All right. We got 1 game. No, we got 2 games. All right. Next game on the docket, Oklahoma City Thunder hosting New Orleans Pelicans, a 215.5 total. What a low total for a Pelicans game. Project starting 5 for the Pelicans, Lonzo Ball, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Stone Cold Steven Adams coming back to OKC. We got SGA, George Hill, Lou Dort, Darius Baisley, and Al Horford as your Thunder lineup. I feel like this total leaves a little meat on the bone. for my estimation as well.
You would think.
But so this game provides a lot of playable Pelicans. Much like the Raptors, like this is starting to get a team where I can paint 31, 32, 34, 35 minutes on a bunch of guys and feel mostly confident. Zion and Brandon Ingram are the short list of my interest on DraftKings at 8 and 7-9. On FanDuel, Ingram's at 9.4K, and now we're in big boy territory at 9.4K because he's the second highest price guy on the slate. In a sandwich of Harden and Wood. But there's still a range of outcomes where 40 to 50 fantasy points is there for him. I'm a lot less excited, though, especially on FanDuel. Zion at 83. Dude, if I got some Zion and Randle lineups floating around, I don't feel that bad pre-flop. Lonzo Ball is Lonzo Ball. Steven Adams coming back. Maybe get some more pepper in him. And then we go look at that Thunder team. Remember that last game, George Hill and Al Horford were both out. Looks like they're back in the mix today. SGA's game has not come yet, right? That big SGA game with this being his squad now has not come. It's just been 40s, 40s, 40s. Last game, he was super efficient, 8 for 10. The game before, 9 for 21, and the game before, 8 for 20. The 20 shot attempts and shooting less than 50% to still like kind of hit value. I felt like there was going to be room for improvement in terms of output, fantasy output, and I think this could be that game. I think the Pelicans are a team that will score pretty well. They are road favorites here, so this could be that spot where SGA has to go above and beyond, and this might be a little bit of why can't I quit you, but could this be finally the SGA 50 fantasy point game? I think I'll play him liberally as if it is, hopefully, and I'll hope for the best. Past him, guys like Lou Dort are intriguing to me because I still think guys like Lou Dort and Darius Bazley just aren't like picking up that type of notoriety yet for fantasy. And I think Dort has a little bit of meat on the bone at 5K in a game that maybe gets into a little bit of a shootout. Could he get 15 to 20 shot attempts? Maybe 15 is aggressive and 20 would be extremely aggressive, but I still think it's at least a range of outcome. And then Darius Bazley, is there more peripherals to go around for him? We know Horford's usually going to stretch a little bit more. Could it get back to the double-digit rebounds like we saw in Game 1 and Game 2? That last game, we saw more 5 duties from like Isaiah Roby and Mike Muscala. Al Horford's a little different, right? Al Horford is like a Brook Lopez type when it comes to rebounding, right? So maybe I lean on some of these peripheral and supplementary Thunder guys just a little bit more. Horford did get 13 boards in that Charlotte game, but Charlotte is Charlotte. 7 threes in that Utah game going against Gobert. Intriguing. What do you do with the Thunder past SGA? Would you dare play some Al Horford here?
I'm not having any Al Horford today. I'm just at the center position. I think it's pretty stacked here. Ton of options. Take a pass on Horford. SGA and Bazley are the only 2 guys I'm really going to play from OKC. Actually, and I think George Hill is going to be a good kind of a value guy, 4,700. He's gotten in the 2 games he's played. So don't hate that if you want just a couple value guys. Give me some George Hill, SGA, and Bazley. On the New Orleans side, I think that's where the pieces you want. Between Ingram and Zion, I want to just go 50-50. Both just interchangeable. But I do think Zion against this OKC team should just destroy the boards. So like 15 kind of plus rebounds, maybe some putbacks at his size. So I might be leaning towards a little more Zion just because of that. But just give me a ton of both in great spots. No Lonzo Ball for me here. He had that kind of 40-point game and then came back the other day with a 7-point game. So that's his kind of consistent level. Take shots at him in tournament, sure, but definitely not a core piece. But give me Zion and Ingram and SGA with some George Hill.
I'm so curious with this total right now because it really feels low.
They've been slow this year if you look at the teams.
I did expect like the Pelicans to get slower, right? I feel like you add Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe into the mix, it's gonna get a little slower. But I also expected like the Thunder to regress defensively. I think you took out Chris Paul, Steven Adams. they were just going to be a little less strong. So I'm just going to see if there's been any movement here. It looks like the total opened at 105. Wait, no. Total opened at 109. No, 213. It opened at 213.5, and it moved to 215. So it has gone up a bucket. So maybe people are kind of thinking like me there. I don't know. Maybe I'm a donk.
So Zion over Ingram too.
I want to. So at price wise, sure. If you're one be wanting them
price.
on DraftKings, sure. But
they're the same price.
Real men play FanDuel, okay? I don't know, man. Prior to that last game where it just got lopsided, out of control, Ingram was getting boards, getting assists.
Yeah,
I think at their price, like normally this ain't the case in my for this team, but I think in this game you could play them both and you might get 90 out of it, and hopefully it's pretty split, like 50-48. I would take that. It's just as long as it stays competitive, and then I would just have to heavily correlate it with SGA doing his thing. Yeah, I like this game. I like this game more than the total, so I'm gonna have it. Anyway, chat. Let's catch up. What the F, dude? Won 15K yesterday. The day before yesterday, I won 18.5K, but 15K came from first place in the $9, and then I chopped fourth place in the 100K, which was like me and 8 of my friends sharing with 3 to 4K. I don't know how 8 people had the same lineup, but I expect tonight to kind of be a chop too, because it's just a short slate. This, what we're using on the screen is the Run DFScom VIP spreadsheet. I'll do a plug in just a second for that. Pelicans redeemed themselves from the previous night. I can see that. What up, Aaron? What up, Carl? Shagrees. Ball gets 40 tonight. It's possible. All right. We'll do one more. We got one more game on the docket. We'll take a pause for the cause. Looks like someone's asking, so I'll explain what we're looking at here. Is the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. One of the things that I've developed in the last couple years as I've become a pro fantasy sports player is proprietary spreadsheets for NBA, NFL, and my biggest monster is the baseball spreadsheet. These are things that I've opened up and shared with premium subscribers at RunDFS.com. So if you guys are looking to go above and beyond, support the stream, support the channel, and get a little something in return, you can go to RunDFS.com, make yourself an account, click VIP passes, get signed up, and that'll open up access to the onboarding thread. And in that thread will be linked to the spreadsheet, and in this spreadsheet, it'll show you the index portal. Right now, this is actually still pulling from last year's stats. I figured I want to give it 5 games before I rely. I mean, not even rely, but before I start really sniffing around what's going on this year other than usage. So probably after tonight or tomorrow, we'll have it pulling this year's information. So you'll get access to that, but you also get access to my projections for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. You also get access to my player pool, what I'm running on each side, my tier 1, 2, 3s, 4s, whatever. This is stuff you don't have to do yourself. If you disagree with me on like a Christian Wood or Harrison Barnes or something like that, you do you. I want you to be your own player. Let's just kind of look at where I'm at. And then I think most valuable as part of the subscription is you get into the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. It looks something like this with cats. I guess we're showing cat pictures. You get in there, and then every day before lock, for 2 hours before lock, I'm in the RunDFS.com voice chat, chopping it up, making lineups. We're bouncing ideas and questions off each other, and it's really just a tight-knit community. I've said it before. This is for people of every bankroll level. 4 weeks ago, Always Be Placing. I believe he's on a business trip right now. Gold. He won the Millionaire Maker. He's a millionaire in this chat. Jake's has won 100K. Dean's won 100K. Who am I, right? But I won 18K 2 nights ago. There's people winning at all different bankroll levels, and there's people grinding quarter arcades, mid stake single entry, maxing, all that good stuff. So wherever you're at in your bankroll life or in your what contest you play, there's somebody there to connect with. But most importantly, there's cat pictures and up to date, up to the minute news on what's going on with players being in and out. So I love it. It's part of my process, and we've really created kind of like of a family. So if you guys want to get in on that, rundfs.com, get signed up. One game left on the docket tonight. The Utah Jazz hosting the Phoenix Suns. Project starting five for the Suns: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, DeAndre Ayton, taking on Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert. A 220 total with a 4-point spread in favor of the home team, Utah Jazz. So a lot of meager totals to surround that Houston game. When you look at this game, it does feel a little bit like yucky, right? Chris Paul at Utah. But I do think Chris Paul at 7.37K. These grindier games, I think Chris Paul could maybe flash that double-double assist point upside. So I don't mind having some shares of him. Devin Booker's starting to take a plummet in price. I think he was just 9K the other day on one of these sites because I remember like scoffing at it. And now he's 7.5 on FanDuel. Is there a range of outcomes where, you know, he starts getting hot from the field? He only had 25 minutes in that lopsided game against the Pelicans, but is 35 minutes a guy that can flirt with 40 fantasy points at a 7.5 price tag on FanDuel? Yes. Mikal Bridges, 5.8, 5.9 on both sites, starting to make some waves as an elite defender, high chronic. Could he deliver, you know, points per minute and maybe go above and beyond a couple extra shots? He had 8 threes 2 games ago. I think he could kind of get there for me at a 5.9 price tag where no one's watching at him. Revenge game for Jay Crowder. I probably am not that enthralled with DeAndre Ayton. I do like I like a certain archetype of center against Gobert, right? Gobert is obviously an elite rim protector. I guess Ayton could maybe sneak around, but he doesn't chuck threes or mid-long range jumpers like I would like him to. I think those are the centers I want to take shots on against a guy like Gobert. So I'm probably a little lower on Ayton than I guess no one's on Ayton because it's Gobert, but usually I will get sneaky and play some of these stretch fives against Gobert. I don't think that's something that's like tickling me here. Mike Conley, 6'3" on FanDuel. You know, tough defensive matchup, but here's a guy that has 50 fantasy point potential. He was one of the catalysts in me winning that 18K 2 nights ago. And then Rudy Gobert is a little bit intriguing. Can I get a double-double out of him? D-Mitch, 7'6", 7'9". I think like the obvious names are the obvious names. Do you look at this game for a lot of hammer action for your lineups tonight? It's an hour after the OKC game. Could you see a single entry lineup with 2 people from this game in your lineup?
Definitely not 2. I do have one. I guess one of my core values that we shifted around with some other guys is Jordan Clarkson. I have 4,800. There's definitely some meat on the bone there for him. Just consistently give you 25. So, a few extra shots, a couple extra assists, get you 30, which is cool. And Chris Paul at 7K, he has that 50-point upside. We've already seen it. And he has a 25-point floor. So he's just one of those guys. This game stays competitive, stays close. I think he might give you that 50 bomb. I mean, in the 2 games the Suns have been close with teams. He's at 54 and 23. He definitely wants 23, wants 54. The other 2 were blowouts. So give me some Chris Paul. Give me some Jordan Clarkson. Man, Devin Booker. I might not play Devin Booker until he's in the 7Ks. His upside has just been taken away since
he's 7.5 on FanDuel, but yeah, it does feel the usage isn't as he doesn't.
Yeah, it's not there. Seems like he's good for 30, 35. Stealing almost seems like it's a 40 playing with Chris Paul, but yeah, just give me none of him. With Ayton at that price, again, with the other centers at his price, I'd rather play Vooch. I'd rather play Zion at center on DK. Christian Wood. I'd rather probably even play Christian Wood at 73 over Ayton. So.
Now you want to play Christian Wood?
I mean, it's DeAndre Ayton. I don't think that's saying much. Just give me Jordan Clarkson. Give me Chris Paul. Call it a day.
No Mike Conley. Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, one of those guys, he's taking more shots than he has points this year. So I'm just gonna.
I mean,
I'll pass on that.
that's not a bad thing. Like that's if you're especially like if you play baseball DFS, that's bad BABIP, right? He's if his BABIP's 100, it's going to progress, right? He's not going to have more shots than points. So if him shooting so poorly is going to keep suppressing his price, it's going to pay off eventually. Eventually, he's going to have that night.
That's a good point. He should with that. He still has the usage.
Yeah, 20-plus shot attempts at 7-6. Come on.
I'm with it.
And if you look at the Suns defense, I'm sure Mitch will be crossed up with like Bridges and Chris Paul anyway. But if he gets a little Devin Booker, looks like Devin Booker's the weak link defensively for this wing defense. So
I like that. Maybe Mitchell does better than Mike Conley because Mike Conley.
I would say one of these starters on the Jazz team is somebody I would be vetting hard. Like it really seems like there's a positive. I want to say a range of outcome. If I had to put a percentage on it, run this game 100 times. Mm-hmm. Somebody here is going to outperform this price point over 30% of the time. In regards to the slate size, it could be Bojan Bogdanovic at 4.9 on FanDuel 5.8. But somebody's gonna get open, and if first of all, if Donovan Mitchell's building a brick house, and maybe he's not assuming a lot of the defensive priority, but I don't agree with that. But one of these guys is gonna shoot through, and I think Conley, Mitchell, or Bojan are the three that I'm most curious with. And then I would be kind of remiss if I didn't mention Rudy Gobert. He's a walking double-double. He's had a couple games here where he's 18 and 20 points. You might look at 7-10, 8-10 and feel like that's anomalic, but it's not. He's a dunker. Like he's going to be an 80% shooter because that's all of his baskets. So if you get 15-15 out of Rudy Gobert, you're getting 40 on the nose. He's not gotten you less than 40 fantasy points at 7.5K. Play some Rudy Gobert on a short slate as a late night hammer. Why not? Blocks will definitely be there looking at this undersized, opposing lineup. So, yeah, I like Gobert quite a bit. Anyway, chat. Let's see what you guys got. If you guys don't mind, can we get a thumbs up wave here? Where are we at? 45 thumbs up. Looks like a lot of you guys aren't here today out partying. Before you guys do get out of here, I do want to really make a plea with you guys. It's December 31st, 2020. I want you guys here on January 1st, 2021. So if you're going out there to party, F all the CDC stuff. I want you guys to just be safe. If you're going to enjoy alcohol tonight, make sure you're set up to be in your bed safely.
I got Zoom parties.
Yeah, and I know every year there's free tow truck and Uber like stuff out there. Please set yourself up for success. Don't be crazy. I want you guys here tomorrow. Anyway, let's see what you guys got. Ryan says 18K. You popping bottles tonight at home? I don't personally drink.
I will be at home,
but I will say I have upgraded some stuff with that 18K. Honestly, if you really want to know what I did with 18K, like some of it, people have a stake in my action, so I pay them off. And a lot of it, I paid half of. So for my lease, I went ahead and paid half the year. I put my average monthly electric bill is like $80, so I did 80 times 6. I put half a year, just giving Reliant money. I did half a year of Spectrum. Basically, I just paid all my bills. That way, I can lay on my couch and I never have to worry about bills for like half a month. Like I'm not responsible. Like I'm just like I don't. I like to live below my means and just be happy with what I have, and I'm happy. So I don't need to buy a new car.
Wait for the 100K score though.
Maybe. Sean says using the Run DFS info, I've taken down 4 tournaments in the last 2 years. I play quarters and 5 cents. Like I said, we got people everywhere. You got a customer. I was using Basketball Monster, but they took away DFS. Well, I'm excited about that. Come on down. We got a nice group. Aiton's been disappointing. Gobert's going to eat him up. I like Gobert. Question for you, Gunn. If you don't mind me asking, about how many lineups did you run the other day when you won 15K? I ran 50 lineups. 50 lineups in a 9. Those same 50 were in a 3. Tonight I'm running 150 in the $3. Like I said, tonight my lineups are going to be more so game theory based and projections based, if that makes sense, because is just going to be duplicated. I just want to get a little game theory into my life. The other day, like I said, I finished fourth place in that 100K to first, and it was just like, who cares? Like, it was $3,000. That's cute, but to beat, what is it, like 400,000 lineups?
Or to be that close to 100K.
Like, yeah, to be that close, like 3K does not excite me. So
and we're like, what, 2 rebounds away a steal?
Yeah. Campaign and Jay Clarkson the same price. Oh, the till. Oh no. What up, dang lazy mofo? The lineup clapper. I see crushed on late December game. Didn't do something similar for you. Yeah, usually right before the end of the year, I tend to get hot in NBA, just enough to be annoying for taxes the next month, right? What up, Shadow Dog? Pinstripe Pimp, man. Adams at center tonight. I don't have a whole lot of love for Adams in a short list because I think like Wood, Gobert, Randle. Like, I guess if you're talking about FanDuel, I guess sure. FanDuel is a little more shallow. It's really Gobert. And then there's like Adams at 5'4". So yeah, probably on FanDuel, I'm gonna probably against my will have it 25% Adams, man. Center's really bad on FanDuel. So yeah, probably a little Adams on FanDuel. 3,000, that's cute. I mean that in like the most humblest way though. 3,000 is like to beat. What is this? So tonight, the 100K to first. Oh no, that's $33. I swear it's like 300,000 lineups. Like to be the fourth highest score out of 300,000. I was literally 4 fantasy points from 100K. It was a 2v2 for 4 fantasy points. Like, it's not as exciting. Maybe I can say that because I was thinking another contest at the same time. I don't know. Anyway, chat, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm going to be in the RunDFS.com voice chat. Really, I guess right after the stream, I got to get over there, finish the other half of the Subway, get some drink going, get my DraftKings poll done, and then remember, there's a 30-minute window between DraftKings lock and FanDuel lock, so it'll help us really stagger our productivity and be ready. If you guys got anything else for me, twitter.com/GundackerSports. Otherwise, RunDFS.com VIP Discord's where it's at. Tomorrow, we'll be back at it. NBA schedule for January 1st looks a little like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's a full-on 10-game slate. Friday night, we're dealing with the hangovers. We're getting some news right now. Like Rajon Rondo just got rolled out. Gallo just got rolled out. DeAndre Hunter's questionable. Trae Young is probable. So we're starting to get some news for tomorrow. It's going to be a big slate. So join me back tomorrow. We're going to go back to the 3 p.m. Eastern stream time here on the channel, 2 p.m. Central. So yeah, I want you guys here for that. So be safe tonight. I love you guys. Be safe. Good luck. God bless. And go win some money.